Good morning, fellow investors. We've got a fun one this morning, I think. Today we're going to look at some investments that I would buy if I had a dollar amount specific and needed to go spend. I'm at a card shop, I'm locally somewhere, and I needed to spend the money. We're going to go with set tiers from zero all the way up to $10,000. Just take a peek at kind of what I'm thinking as far as investments. You can agree or disagree. Leave your comments down below. Let's get right into it, and I'm just going to show you what I like, what I think I'd pick up if I had the money. So let's flip y'all over. And by the way, it is May 10th. If you're watching as of the recording of this video, it is Mother's Day. So take a moment if you're locally, maybe take a visit to your mother. Tell her how much she's appreciated. You don't want to overlook days like this. They are important. Uh, that's my tip for today. If you're in America, I don't really know if other countries celebrate Mother's Day, but May 10th here in America. So give your mom a little appreciation today. All right, what are we looking at? So here are some packs of Destined Rivals. You can see that. Just found those yesterday at a dollar store in some metal tins, some Tyranitar Slow King tins. I bought them because I had a coupon, so I got them on sale. Little tins, 3 packs, $15 tins. I didn't know what was going to be in them. I tried to look up a little YouTube short, didn't see much, so I was shocked to find 2 Destined Rivals and 1 Journey Together. I figured we'd get kind of some lesser tier sets in there, but oh man, I was so happy to see 2 Destined Rivals out of the 3 packs. Which leads me to the first investment. What are we starting with today? If you say Matrix, I got $100. What am I buying? Maybe you're at a card show. Maybe you're at online just looking at TCG Player or eBay. Just for the sake of argument, for the simplicity, I'm going to use TCG Player here as the platform. But prices can vary slightly from show to online platform. Just remember that, and we'll kind of talk about that. So this is what I'm looking at. $100 sadly doesn't get us much today, does it? Um, Unless you get lucky at a vending machine or something like that. But Destined Rivals has been slowly rising. They've been in the low 50s a few months ago, and it's spiked. So this is some manipulation here when it spiked to 110, but slow, steady growth into the 60s and now into the 70s. So at $70 to $75, I'm picking up a booster bundle of Destined Rivals. And you say, well, you got a little bit left over, Matrix. What else are you doing with it? What I'm doing with it is buying 2 copies of what I believe is a very underrated, slept on single from this set, assuming we can pick one up around the $70 range. We got about 30 left over to spend. I'm getting the Team Rockets Houndoom, 2 copies of it, which you should be able to find. Most recent sales are around $15 to $16. You go to a card show. Um, if you find one of these, to me, Houndour, Houndoom, fairly popular, right? There wasn't a ton in Shrouded Fable. Houndoom was one of those that kind of stood out. Houndoom's not that upper tier, Gen 1, Lucario level, Venusaur level, Pikachu, but to me it's almost like a B, the next tier down. I think it's awesome. It's an awesome artwork. The fire, flames coming out of his mouth. 2 copies for $30. Mark my words, when Destined Rivals goes out of stock, out of print in a year or so, year and a half, this card you're gonna want to have some copies in your binder. It's gonna be way more than $15. All right, really simple for the next one. So we're going from 100 to 250, $250 range. I know the most recent sales are a little bit higher on this, but Surging Sparks, I still think it's undervalued. A lot of people are saying that. I agree. Look, it's got Pikachu, several $100s, right? It's got Latias. How much is that now? let's just take a look. Wasn't it like $150 to $200 card pretty recently? Yeah, 176 right here. The headliner. This is kind of what leading up to Surging Sparks, really what set the flame a year and a half ago on this huge bull market that we're seeing. An awesome headliner OG chase card. Because before we were getting Paradox and Temporal cards, awesome artwork, but they were cards that people didn't relate to so much. So finally getting an OG 150, awesome artwork in the Pikachu, really, it was priming before that, but Surging Sparks really lit the flame on this bull market that still just hasn't stopped. So it's got a few nice. Holy crap! I didn't even realize Milotic was over $100 card. And Pikachu, the gold Pikachu, is approaching $80 right now, approaching $100. I mean, look what the bundles have done. That's crazy. $72 for a booster bundle. The Elite Trainer boxes, a while back, you couldn't really sell those. Flippers couldn't even flip those. You're selling them for like $70. Look at it now, $110. And it's got an awesome Magneton promo from Shinji Kanda as well. So you've got 3 singles above $100, about to be 4 with the gold Pikachu. That's pretty strong for your first several mainline hit cards. I don't know why people aren't giving its dues, but I promise you they will in a year when this set's more or less out of rotation. You're going to want to own one of these. I've got a few. I was buying them uh, at shows, honestly. People were just walking up at vending machines trying to make their quick flip. You're buying it from the vending machine at the MSRP price of 160. It's like 175 with tax, 180, and they're selling them for low twos, 200, 210. Look at your Facebook marketplaces. You still can find this box, even though most recent sales were around 270, maybe a little bit more than that. I promise you, if you look hard at a card shop, card shows, and your local marketplaces, you can find one of these boxes for 250. It's going to be great long term. People aren't paying huge attention to it right now. And look, investors, when people are looking elsewhere, and you see a good buy, good opportunity, you go for it. Surging Sparks is one of those right now. Prismatic Evolutions, the next one. So we just moved from $250 to $500. What I'm buying is 3 Prismatic normal ETBs. No, not the PC version, because that's around $500 too right now. But I would rather have 3 regular ones versus 1 PC. So, and to me, honestly, I don't know if we're going to see a lot of huge, like we saw some Sam's Club, Costco's. We're kind of seeing it right now, honestly. Some Targets are starting to get these, Best Buys a little bit here and there. Um, some booster box cases, ETB cases from some LGS stores. And of course, they're insane, right? They're like 2,000 a case. But this was running up to over $200. Now it's gone down to about 170. It's kind of ticking down. It's had a decent correction, right? From 200 down to 170, back up to 175. I don't know if they're going to drop another big reprint like they kind of are right now. So that's why I'm thinking this might be the lowest it's going to be, sadly, ever again. So I would not want to be caught in 5 years not having something prismatic. So to me, it's the specialty set. I know you can say the bundles, you can say the surprise boxes. I wouldn't argue with you. But if it's me and I had 500, what I'm picking are 3 of the blue chip item for a specialty set. That's the ETB. That's going to land you right around $500 or really close to it for 3 of them at this price point. All right, so 500. What would I buy for 1,000? And it's really Did not see this coming in such manner. I don't know if anyone really did with Ascended. It's doing things that it's breaking the mold. Like it's shattering every investor's uh, speculations. Because I remember when this first came out on Marketplace, release day, you had your people getting them in from the mail, right? And they wanted to make their quick flip. They were all day long on your local marketplaces for between $200 and $225 for one of these. Holy cow. If you would have just bought a bunch then from a flipped price, and then now, a few months later, and you're already sitting at 500, like you've already more than two and a half x'd in that short amount of time from buying it at a flipped price, scalped price, if you want to call that. They were sitting in the low twos. I'm telling you, when this first came out around the end of February, it says 229 items old, between 200 and 260. It's saying an average of 240, but locally at shows and shops and really local people just trying to sell them and make their quick flip, didn't want to keep them long term, they were going for around 220 all day long. So you could have bought dozens of them for that price. If you live in a big town, big city where there's multiple listings, then yes. So look at them now. The sad thing is, like, they just don't usually print PCETBs. It's usually one wave of them on pre-order from Pokemon Center, and that's it. Maybe with Ascended, that might be one of those, like Prismatic they did a couple extra times where they dropped some PCETBs. They kind of bundled them with some junk online that people don't tend to buy to get people to buy that stuff, like little figures and statues. But so they may do that, but man, I'm not holding out hope for that. And what is that really going to do? Like, it's probably just going to drop 10, 15%, if that. This set and this item is just too strong. So if I had $1,000, I'd probably strongly consider picking up two of these because they're sitting right around $500 right now. It pains me to even say that because it seems like, wow, $1,000 is a lot of money, and all you're getting is two PCTBs. But if the set is that strong, which it is, it's defying all logic, which it has and still is. I think you got to take the gamble, take the risk here, and to say at least I own two mint items. This is the best item, most exclusive item you can get for Ascended Heroes, the Pokemon Center ETB. Remember, it's a subset, specialty set, no booster boxes. So this is the blue chip item. Aside from a normal ETB, it's this, the most exclusive thing. So this is what I would be picking up with $1,000. Two of these. Make sure they're mint and don't have any tears if you're looking at getting one. If it's eBay, make sure that seller packs well and just bubble wrap the heck out of it because that's what you want. So, all right, for $1,000, the next tier. Let's see. No, sorry. Ascended Heroes was 1,000. We're jumping on up to 2,500 now, a large increment. I'm going to buy this right here. Like I just showed you the packs I found earlier. I just don't think they're going to reprint booster boxes, and if they do, it's going to be such a quantity that's not even going to just cool off at all. Like, this may drop, in my opinion, 5 to 10% because people are ready to buy this. It's the public sentiment that this item is the best set of the SV era, so I really don't see it dropping that much. It's sad to say that, but so $2,500 is going to get you roughly at a market price of $625 of four of these. I wish I owned a bunch of these. I've only got a couple, and I bought them when they were way cheaper, speculating that they were going to do this, and I was right. I just didn't think it was going to be this high this fast, but I would get four of these for $2,500. Four of the best booster box of the era. I think long term, yes, if this craziness keeps happening, this might be $1,000 box by the end of the year. And that's really scary to say, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. So I'm looking at this, four of these for 2,500 bucks. All right, now we're stepping up to the last two $5,000 tier. What would I buy? I would look at, so this sale has kind of been up and down on sales, but it's hovering at around 1,000, and it has been for quite some time, at least a few months. So I'm looking at getting 5 Fusion Strike booster boxes. If it's online, make sure they bubble wrap the heck out of it. If it's local, check it over, make sure it's legit, make sure there's no rips or tears. Um, I wish I had more of this box. I've got like one, I think. So, yeah, I remember when this was all day long on eBay, P Football Pete for 90 bucks. $90. Nobody wanted it. That was the giveaway price. Like, you could get this. Oh, man, it was so cheap back then. But if you haven't been in the hobby long, you don't really know what I'm talking about. But just know that it was super cheap back then. Markets were very, very low. There's still things that were profitable, but sets like this wasn't always popular. It wasn't. It was not super well received. The pull rates, I opened a ton of them. We opened a booster box, I remember, and getting the best card we got was a Gengar VMAX. Not the alt art, just the regular VMAX, which was like an $8 card back then. So really tough. You'd get like 6 or 7, maybe 8 pulls out of a box, 36 packs. So Fusion Strikeout is kind of the nickname that it got because the pull rates were very tough. But still, it has emerged as one of the best Sword and Shield items, booster boxes. I want to have this long term in my collection if I don't have any. So for 5K, I'm going bold. I'm buying 5 of these. All right, last but certainly not least, we did this as 5K. If I had $10,000, what am I buying? I'm buying Evolving Skies because don't ever bet against it. I know it's been kind of stagnant for quite a while, but if you can find a minty mint booster box, I think it's still a good investment. I ask myself this: can this booster box? It's doing similar things to what Team Up did a few years ago. Team Up's a 10 grand box. So I ask myself, can this Evolving Skies booster become 10 grand one day? I have to say yes, pretty confidently. I don't know when that day will come. I don't know if it'll be in 5 years. I don't know if it'll be in 1 year, 3. I don't know. But I believe it will sooner than later. And I'd be willing to hold on to it. Diamond hands, right? If we're investors long term, that's what we got to be. That's what we got to try to have. And there's no shame in selling and taking profits. If life events come up, I've done that. I had a ton of Evolving Skies sleeve packs. Uh, Last summer, I sold them off because I needed them for some life event type of things. Like, yeah, I'm sad that I sold them, but I'm not because I made a decent profit. So, and it, but just looking at the booster pack now, it's just insane. It's approaching like $100 already a pack. So, if anyone hasn't noticed, but this booster box, so you're gonna get for 10 grand, you're probably not gonna find 4 of them for 2,500 each because they're around 26 to 2,700. So kind of doing that math, you would be able to buy 3 of them, and it comes up to around 8 grand. So I'm getting for 10 grand 3 of these, and what am I doing with the leftover 2 grand? If 3 comes out to around 8K, the remaining 2K I'm looking at, and I would, if I had the extra money, I'd like to try to find some more ETBs, but this is what I'm buying. Uh, the combo for 850, but really they've kind of ticked up more than that. It's the one with Umbreon on the cover is around 550. Most recent sale, holy crap, it's 600 now. So It's things just keep going up, and people are paying this amount of money. It's insane. But that shows you the strength. Even 600 for this one recent sale. Look, I'm still seeing these a little bit at card shows and marketplaces for around the $500 range. So assuming that you're $600, you're going to be able to get with 2K around 3, maybe a little bit more, or for 500-ish, maybe you find a deal where you can buy 4 for 2 grand. So that's what I'm looking at for the remaining amount of money. I'm not super sold on the PC TBs. They had a couple extra packs, but back then, if y'all didn't know, there was no stamped promo. It was just extra packs. That was it for the Sword and Shield era. So I think that's what I would do is go bold, get 3 booster boxes and 3 to 4 ETBs, just the normal ones. I'd like to get at least one of each because there's 2 box arts. There's one with Umbreon and these few, and then there's this one here with Sylveon and the next few. So I'd like to have at least one of each. I only have one ETB I got long time ago. I wish I could have got more back then, but and I actually found it at Best Buy for the regular $39.99 price tag. I was super excited to get that because that was around the time where it was drying up and you weren't seeing it at all in stores. So secondary market was about all where you could find it. Of course, it was way cheaper then, but it is what it is, right? We're in 2026. This is a $600 ETB. So that's what I would get. 3 booster boxes and 3 to 4 ETBs, at least one of each box art. And if you got a little bit left over, don't sleep on the sleeve booster packs or even the what's it called? The something like this is around a $60 item. If you can find a mint copy of that, it's still sealed, right? It's not a sleeve, but you do get a nice little Eevee promo. I wouldn't be opposed to get. I know it's ticking back up, but right now market price is around $60. So maybe a couple of those, and I guess people value the sleeve booster pack a little more because as you see, it's higher. It's around 90. So it's so crazy. I remember buying those all day long for $3.99, and wow, to see what they are now. The hobby's insane. I believe if you're sitting on the sidelines with cash, with capital, you're doing yourself a disservice. Do a little research, watch these videos, comment if you got any questions. I'd appreciate it. I'll do my best to help answer, but you sitting on the sidelines, you're just going to get passed by if you have capital. Uh, if you have the money to invest, right? Don't over leverage. Don't invest more than you have. Don't put things on credit cards with high interest thinking it's going to go up and you'll flip it in 3 months. Invest smartly, invest prudently, thinking ahead, right? I ask myself, I'm going to buy this item. I believe wholeheartedly that it's going to go up. But if it doesn't and it goes to crap and I can't sell it, am I still okay? And if that answer is a yes, then go ahead and buy it, invest in it. So it's kind of like your ultimate just in case crap hits the fan type of scenario. But that's what I would do with various increments amount of money. There's so many awesome sets I left off that I could have, like 151. Celebrations right now is doing crazy things. Um, Short-term flip, I'd be looking at Celebrations. That's about it. All Celebrations. All right. Appreciate y'all watching. Catch you on the next one. Like and comment on your way out. I'd appreciate it greatly. And if not, happy Mother's Day, everyone. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.